Thanks for being here. We're excited to have you here. Thank you for allowing us to help you grow and scale your business. Let me ask you an important question. Do you like money? Do you like money enough to do something about protecting and multiplying it? See, your marketing is like a magic box. I describe this in my ebook on building client acquisition systems, which you can get for free on the website here. But your marketing is like a magic box. We put smaller denomination bills into one side of the box, dollar, $5, $10 bills, and then larger denomination bills come out the other side of the box. Where picture this, where you put $1, $5, $10 bills in, and 10, 20, 50s, 100s come out the other side of the box. How much would you, if you could do that, how often would you do that? How much money would you, how much small bills would you put in? You actually get an automatic paper feeder and you putting these bills in, having them come out. Imagine if that could happen. Imagine how exciting your business would be once that's happening and once that's going on. That is what your marketing should be doing. I'm Chris Goegan. I'm founder of Engineered Marketing and on growing and scaling businesses. That's what we specialize in doing here. And I just want to just connect, make a personal introduction, just to say hi, and just give you a brief background into who we are, what we do, and why I started this whole thing. We've been doing this for 25 plus years, helped hundreds of clients in 100 different industries. And if you're looking to grow and scale your business, I am absolutely confident that this will help you. And this was founded upon engineering background, which I'll get to in a moment. I don't like hype. I don't like fluff. I don't like BS. I don't like garbage. I like what works. My time is way too precious and way too valuable to be wasting it on things that don't work or things that I hope will work or stuff like that. No. My time is way too valuable, and your time is way too valuable as well. So big problem that's going on with marketing. Why is it, why don't you have that magic box that's producing like it should? Well, big reason why is there's a lot of things stopping you out there right now. Most marketing doesn't work. In fact, doesn't work the way it's led to believe anyhow. Funnels don't work like they used to. They're still good and they're still important to have different aspects, but in a different way. There's a lot of bad advice out there. There's too much information, false expectations. You hear these stories of these overnight successes, and you may be thinking, my gosh, if I'm not making $100 million in 30 seconds or less, I'm a complete failure. Well, a lot of that's just garbage. A lot of BS out there as well. All that stuff is to pander to you to get you to buy their stuff. That's all it really is. You're being pandered to, and you've been pandered to for quite some time. And I'm here just to kind of help set things straight and just help you go from wherever you are to wherever it is that you want to go, help you grow and scale things. So with all this stuff going on, there's so much frustration going on out there. And not sure what to do. Too much. There's technology is confusing. How do I do that? What do I hire? On and on. It's endless. Plus, you're so busy being successful, growing and building your business to where you got right now, you don't have time to study and learn all the stuff, what to do. So you have to look to others to do it. And many of them you can't trust. So what's the biggest problem I see out there right now for small business owners or business owners, period? One word: overwhelm. Too overwhelming. Too much stuff is overwhelming out there. So when you're overwhelmed, there's no clarity. When there's no clarity, there's no growth. So most people, what they do is then they revert to the shotgun approach, where you just throw a bunch of mud at the wall and see what sticks. Well, because you got to do something, right? You can't just do nothing. You got to do something. Makes you feel good, right? So, but the problem is at the end of the day, there's a little show for it, except for like a dirty wall and lost money and wasted time. Now, you're great at what you do, right? Of course. So you should be selling more to more people, but you're not. Instead, you're spending too much time reading articles and watching videos. Maybe you're saying it about this video. I don't know. But worse, there's a lot of unnecessary stress that goes along with frustration, overwhelm, not sure what to do. You get grumpy, you get cranky. You find yourself getting irritated at small things, a look or a comment, or someone cuts you off on the road. Your kid asks one too many questions. Your spouse questions something or doesn't seem supportive. These things, which should be small things in life, end up being the bigger things. And sadly, marriages suffer, relationships with kids and loved ones suffers. You can't sleep. You feel like you're going insane. And that's because things are way more confusing than they should be. And that's a big reason why I started this business, is to simplify business growth. Like I said, I've been doing this for over 25 years. And actually, my career started back as an engineer, where I built high volume manufacturing lines for Ford Motor Company. I got hired on and I said, Chris, go into this area, make it better, or you're going to get fired. So I didn't want to get fired. So back against the wall, I had to figure some things out. Now I had great teachers along the lines. That really helped me out. And that was really important. And so when I was a young manufacturing engineer and I got thrown into the making engines and had to make 1 million engines defect free every single year. And I was working in the engine blocks. And we had to put a hole in this engine block. And I could care less what technology we use, whether we drilled, reamed, bored, burnished, roller burnished. I could care less. All I cared about was that the hole got put in the right place, right size, every single time, defect free, and we could make 1 million of those, and the line would never go down and never get called in at 3 o'clock in the morning to try to fix it and get it back up again and running. So that love for systems was birthed back 30 years ago. And then once I got things improved in certain areas, like in the block, I got sent over to different areas, the crankshaft, camshaft, pistons, rods. So all different areas because, hey, send there, Chris will fix it. He'll do anything or he'll get fired, right? So, but anyhow, I learned that there's principles. And if you follow these principles, you can manufacture anything. And the principles are the same. Just the technology used to make that thing at that time will change. Little did I know how important this was until many years later, when I was in marketing. I left engineering, got into sales. Simple reason is I wanted to provide a better life for my family. I wanted my wife to have the option of not working and staying home when it came time to raise a family. We didn't have kids at the time, but I wanted to have that option. So I got into sales. Awful at it, stunk. That could be a whole other story in and of itself. And I'd made over 100,000 cold calls. Yes, 100,000 cold calls. Picking up the phone. Hi, this is Chris. You want to buy my stuff? Hated it. I think there's maybe 3 phone calls that I liked. Anyhow, I learned because I was so bad at it initially that once I got someone's initial interest, man, I could hold that interest and I could grow it. And then once I got a customer, I could keep a customer because it was brutally hard for me to gain them. So I developed a lot of systems and learned a lot of things. Again, I had wonderful mentors along the lines that helped teach me a lot of stuff. So I learned how I got initial interest, how I grew that interest, to get them to buy and then get them to buy more and more and more and more and more. So again, another piece really important. So after all these cold calls, I said, how about I use some marketing to get people to come to me instead of cold calling. Cold calling is great, but it wasn't the best use of my time. So I started into marketing. And this is before the internet. I was looking at buying a direct mail marketing franchise. So before I invested several $100,000 in doing that, I figured I should just go and see if I liked it or not, as far, test it out. So I tested it out and was building up a new territory. We did really well with it. And then I had some strange things happen. I had some clients would call me up and say, hey, Chris, there's no publications coming out. It's nothing I can spend money in, but I need sales. I don't know what to do. So I remember one in particular, it was right before Thanksgiving time in the United States. And I'm from Canada, in case you pick up an A or note in a boat or something like that. I live in California now. Anyhow, so he called me up and says, hey, I need business. I don't know what to do. We got together and put together a direct mail campaign targeted at specific people that he had visited and that he hadn't sold. And he had no list, like no database. We just scrounged up a bunch of leads, put them together, and we put a mailing together, spent less than $200 on mailing, and it brought in just under 20 grand. I think it was like 19,630 bucks or something like that. Wonderful, return on it. And then this idea was like birth. It's like, you know what? Instead of spending these hundreds of thousands of dollars and buying a franchise, why don't I just go off and just start, and just do consulting for clients, taking the stuff I've learned. So I did that, and then I started consulting and putting things together. And then we started outsourcing a lot of things, especially when the internet came around. Started outsourcing internet projects, and we developed a strategy and selling system and all the rest, and outsourced. But then we found out that the outsourcing was pretty garbage. I mean, there's some pretty bad stuff. I mean, a lot of stuff sounded good, and I'm sure you get a lot of pitches where they sound great, but it delivers garbage. Well, I'd been through that, and so the engineer in me said, you know what, this is crap. So engineers like to take things apart, open them up, examine the different pieces, look at them, see how they'll fit together, see how they work, and put it back together again, or build something better. And that's what the engineer in me did. So I did, most people go a mile deep. The engineer in me went 2 miles deep on internet marketing when it first came out. So went 2 miles deep and then started putting programs together and started getting some outstanding results. Not because I was brilliant, but because we understood the principles and how things worked, and then how to sell and why people buy things When we understood those things, put them all together, then miraculous things started happening. And so fast forward, internet's been around, more technology, more traffic, more things like that. And by the hand of God, Providence moved and has brought all these pieces, together from my background. So now engineered marketing was birthed, where now I build, instead of building automated manufacturing lines to build high volume production parts, like engines or components or different things, we now build high volume production lines to manufacture sales and automated sales. So wherever you are right now, you can grow your business significantly without the significant time increase, because you put to get a business off the ground takes a lot of like sweat equity to get in. And most people, they're like, man, I cannot put the same level of sweat equity to get where I want to go. So instead of doing that, we use systems, both technology and people, but we use systems and we have a process, for that. A big part of it is client acquisition systems. I mentioned that above. I've got a book here that I wrote. There's a free ebook version of it available on my website here. You can learn more about that. I was sitting down with a guy and he said, Chris, so basically what you do for startups, because, and he goes, you shave about 2 years off of startup time and save people thousands or tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars. So, yep, exactly. Well said. And then, guy, small business owner, is local business, he brought in $135,000 in 6 weeks off a $500 ad spend. So we help small businesses, grow. We help bigger businesses, $7 to $15 million. Have the company, double from $7 to $15 million by working on their selling system, and then they're getting more traffic to them. Help grow and scale businesses from a local small business to a national franchising business. So it doesn't matter where you are, what you're looking to do. There are principles that apply. When you apply the principles, you can have phenomenal growth, tremendous growth, and that's what I'm here to do. So I just want to give you an introduction. It's good to say hi. It's wonderful to meet you. We haven't met in person, or maybe we have. I don't know, but I look forward to meeting you. And if you ever do have a question, you can go ahead and go to request a consult or just email me directly. I'd be happy to answer it. Big thing though is on building client acquisition systems, and that's really where the focus you want to have your focus on. And client acquisition systems is your magic box. We put the small denomination bills on one side, and the bigger denomination bills come out the other side. And that's what we help clients do, and help them grow and scale their operation. So anyhow, it was wonderful talking at you, and we'll look for some more resources. Got a lot of great things coming your way to help you get from wherever you are to wherever it is that you want to go. All right, talk to you soon. Bye-bye.